boyfriends now? I don't know. Some people have been spreading some rumors recently, and I'm here to address every single one of them. I'm just gonna give you guys a quick breakdown. Okay, let's go in order here. Starting off at number 1, Dylan. Dylan, if you're watching this, I'm so sorry. Guys, Dylan was my first ex ever. We were also both really young at the time, and we didn't really know how a relationship even worked. We just decided that we would be better as friends. We took a little break from each other. Now we're literally besties again because we're both mature enough to get past those things and just continue a friendship. Okay, on to number 2. Okay, so this one I've been getting a lot of questions about. I never really addressed this. I don't know why. You guys know my life is very public and I tell you guys basically everything. But for some reason with this relationship, I just didn't really even address the break. Me and Ethan did break up months ago. I'm still always getting comments about it and I'm like, come on guys. Come on guys. We mutually agreed that it just wasn't gonna work. We had our differences. And in this relationship, it didn't really end in the best way. Even though I wanted it to. We just had a lot of differences. He wanted to go out and party and I didn't want to do that. And I was like, you know what? You can go do those things, just not with me. Not to mention, now he's dating some girl that befriended me. She would literally reply to all my stories of me and him together. But it's okay because she still watches all my stories and screenshots them. And last but not least, I know a lot of you guys have been wondering about this one. So a lot of people want to know if me and Max are dating. No guys, we're not dating. Neither one of us are really looking for anything right now, but is he my type? 100%. Me and Max are just friends, but I mean,
he's 6'5".
So moral of the story, guys, I'm single. I just wanted to let you guys know that I don't have 3 boyfriends or I'm cheating on anyone. No, I'm single, I'm enjoying my life, and I'm in my prime, so leave me alone.
Dating in Arizona is so whack. Okay, I went on a date one time with this guy and he tells me to meet him at the restaurant, so I do. He's sitting at the bar when I arrive. I go sit next to him. We're exchanging pleasantries. Everything's fine. He's kind of shy. It's kind of awkward, but I'm like, whatever. Maybe he's just nervous. 30 minutes later, he really breaks out of his shell, okay? He starts telling me how he's racist. And I was like, oh my God. Alrighty. And he's telling me how he hates Mexicans. And I'm like, do you know that I'm Mexican? And he was like, you don't look Mexican, so it's fine. And I was like, okay, all right. So the date just continues to get worse because he will not stop yelling about how he hates this person and that person and these types of people and that and this and that. And I'm like, oh my God, he's just talking so loud. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm like, quiet down a little, because I'm looking around to see if anyone's listening because he's literally screaming about how he hates races and this and that. And also this guy was mixed. So I'm like, what do you mean that you're racist? Anyways, so after that, we go to a speakeasy that's around the corner. And I know I should have ended the date, but I really wanted to see where the speakeasy was. We were there for 10 minutes and I was like, oh my God, I have to leave. He was rude to the bartender, didn't even tip him. So I had to tip him. And then when we're walking back to my car, he pushes me into a tree. And it's one of those trees that has the cement square around it. So I stubbed my toe on the cement. My toe's gushing blood and he's laughing. And I'm like, why is that funny? I'm like, that hurt. And then he's like, yeah, I thought it was pretty funny. And I'm like, okay, great sense of humor on this one. And so I was like, alrighty then, I'm gonna head on home. The next day, I'm leaving my apartment and guess who lives in my apartment complex? This dude, okay? He lives right next door to me and I had to continue to see him for months until I moved. Dating in Arizona is so whack. Story number 2, okay? I went on a date with this guy who had been repeatedly asking me out for months, and I kept saying no. But then one day, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give you a chance. Anyways, he picks me up at my apartment. Never let a man pick you up from your apartment or where you live on a first date. Horrible idea, okay? Prior to the date, I told him repeatedly that I don't drink. It's just a personal preference. And I told him, I don't care if you drink, obviously, but I'm not going to drink. Fast forward. We get to the restaurant. We sit down. The waiter comes over. He asks us what we'd like to drink. And I said, I'll just have a water. And my date goes, bring her a glass of wine. And I was like, I don't want wine. I already told you I don't drink. And so I was like, no, I'm okay. And then my date was like, no. Bring her some samples. We'll see what she likes. Okay. I don't drink, right? So they bring me the wine samples and I'm like, I don't want anything. And then they're just staring at me him and the server are buddy, trying to get me to find a wine. So I'm so uncomfortable. So I grab the little sample, take the most annoying little sip of it. And I'm like, okay, thanks for the sample. I don't want anything. he proceeds to order me a drink, and I look at him and I say, I'm not going to drink it. And he was like, that's fine, I just got it for you. And I was like, okay. Then he tries to offer me a sip of his drink, and I was like, I'm okay, thank you. So that was my first red flag, okay? Because this man could not take no for an answer. Like, he just really wanted me to drink with him. And I was like, I don't want to. Okay, first red flag. Second red flag, he's ordering his food and he doesn't like vegetables. So he's like, I want to substitute this. And they're like, oh, sorry, we don't do substitutions, because nice restaurants usually don't do substitutions, whatever. So I was like, I'll eat it. Like, you can have my mashed potatoes and I'll eat your asparagus or whatever the frick it was. And so his food comes out, and there's vegetables on his plate, and he freaks out, and he's like, I didn't want these. I told you I didn't want these. And the server was like, and I explained to you we don't do substitutions. And then his steak was too rare for him. So I was like, do you want to switch steaks? I prefer my steak like medium rare, medium. His steak was like rare. And I was like, I don't care. I'll eat it. I was like, you can have my medium steak, okay? So we switched steaks. He still doesn't like his steak. So he tells the server, I'm not paying for this. I don't want this. And the server's like, okay. So they take it off the check, okay? Second red flag, like, just eat your freaking steak, okay? Anyways, next red flag is the tab was like $250, and the server took off his steak, okay? And this man pays for it, and when it comes back, he opens up that checkbook, opens up his wallet, takes out 3 crumpled up $1 bills, and places it in there as the tip. And I was like, no way you just tipped $3 on a $250 tab. So then my date wants to go take a picture outside. So he asked the server assistant to come take a picture of us outside. And I was like, I don't really want to take a picture with you, but I was like, whatever. So I take it on my phone so that there's no documentation of it on anyone else's phone. And when I'm giving the server assistant my phone, I hand him $70, and I'm like, please go give this to our server. I am so sorry. Like, tell him I'm so sorry. This was so awkward, and he did a really great job, and he did not deserve that crumpled up $3 tip, you know? So that was the other red flag. And we get to my apartment, and then he tries to kiss me, and so I don't kiss him. And then he goes, do you want me to come up with you? And I was like, absolutely freaking not. I was like, good day, sir. You know? Horrible date.
Okay, guys, get ready with me, except I have the most embarrassing thing you guys are ever going to hear in your whole life to tell you guys. I was on online school yesterday. I was on my Zooms as normal, and I had my camera off. And then my teacher was like, can you turn your camera on? And I was like, yeah, of course. And I forgot it was on, okay? Completely forgot it was on. I go to change to get ready for practice. I'm just changing. I turn around. I'm right in front of the fucking camera. Guys, my titties are out in front of the camera. I'll never be the same person. I don't think anybody saw. I pray to God nobody saw. There were so many people on that meeting, but everyone like had their cameras off. But I don't think I've ever been so embarrassed in my life. I don't think I'll ever forget it. And it's not like I was there on the camera for like 2 seconds. No, it was like a solid 10 seconds of me fucking standing there changing. So, I'm so sorry to anyone who saw. I hope nobody saw. Nobody said anything. Please, God, I'm begging, please. Also, you guys want more story times, but I literally cannot tell the rest of my stories, or like a lot of my stories, until I turn of age, okay? Because just give me a couple more years. Don't worry though, I do have more to tell that I don't have to wait a couple more years for, but a lot of them I have to wait for. The best ones I have to wait for, which is unfortunate. Also, I was trying to wait till June to get my hair done. I physically can't do it. I'm getting my hair done next week. I can't do it. And Damien's paying for it. Yes, king, yes. I was like, I'm getting my hair done. And see what he would say. And of course, he's like, I got you, girl. Hell yeah, king shit. Also, when I post stuff about what Damien does for me, it makes me really mad because people think I don't do anything for him, but like that's literally like my pookie. Like that's my fucking pookie. If you guys think I don't do anything for him, you are wilding. I literally like cherish this man like no other. You know what I keep thinking about that kind of pisses me off? When I went to the dermatologist, I told her, hey, every year of my life, every summer, I get a super bad sunburn for some reason. I do it to myself. Can you check all these for me, right? Because I got all these freckles. And she's like, nope, you look fine. She just looked at them. Like, she literally just like went like this. Oh, no, you look fine. Didn't look on my back, nothing. So, like, girl, like, what the fuck? So, should I go back and be like,
bitch, look, like, make sure I'm good, girl. Like, make sure I'm fucking good. Or what? Or do you think I'm actually fine? Guys, next month is gonna be crazy. It's literally, no, not May. June is gonna be crazy. It's everybody, all my friends' graduations. We all go to different schools, so there's gonna be 30 graduations to go to. And then all of our graduation parties are literally back to back to back. They're like one day after another. There's so many of them. And then there's like birthdays in June too. There's yeah, all the grad parties. Did I already say that? There's recital, and then at the end of June, we leave for 8 days to Fort Lauderdale. So, it's gonna be a good-ass fucking month. Bye, guys.
When I was a freshman and sophomore in high school, I was starting to get mixed up into the wrong crowd. I did straighten up, but my mom didn't really care. It was really strange. So my freshman year, this is when it all started, I put Fireball in a water bottle and brought it to school and drank it at school. Finished the water bottle of Fireball at school. Then vaping was starting to become a thing at school, okay? So I bought one of those huge like box vapes. I didn't even want the like nicotine. I just thought the smoke was cool. Well, then I decided that I was going to buy weed. And I did in fact buy it, but I never got it. Never got it, which was honestly a blessing in disguise. Then my sophomore year, I started to ramp things up just a little bit. I bought lean. Yes, lean. And I did not know necessarily what I was buying, so I drank like half of the bottle at school, and I passed out, and I was unconscious. Nobody could wake me up. I passed out. So I don't really know. I think they ended up calling the ambulance because I just would not wake up. And then I also was, hold on. In the same class that I passed out in from the lean, I also hit a dab pen for way too long. I had never like actually done that before and was unable to move. And almost went into cardiac arrest because my heart rate was like 260. I don't know how I didn't go into cardiac arrest, to be honest. And then one day we got searched. I had a bunch of pills on me. I don't even freaking know what the pills were, to be honest. And I was in my cheer uniform, so I had to grab all of the pills and shove them down into my cheer uniform and in my bra so I wouldn't get in trouble.
Okay, story time. I went on the worst date of my entire life on Saturday. I may as well just talk about it. What else am I doing? Basically, long story short, a guy asked me out at a stoplight. I said yes. I met him for dinner. It was the worst date of my entire life. I show up. He doesn't have a reservation, which is fine, but like 45-minute wait, like come on, plan a little bit, like have a reservation. We live in LA, like, you know, like have a reservation for a good restaurant, you know? So that was mistake number one, in my opinion. I don't know if that's picky. I don't know if that's like, whatever. That's just a standard for me, like plan a little bit. And then number two, we sat outside and like got our drinks and we were just talking and chit-chatting and whatever, and that's fine. But he was asking me about what I do, and I was like, fashion content, and I make like, that's how I express my creativity and whatever. And he was like, so you're just really good at shopping? I was like, did you hear me? Did you hear me talk about how passionate I am about this? And so you demoted that to me being really good at shopping. Okay. And then I was talking about him and showing genuine interest in his creativity and what he does for work. But basically, his work is making art pieces that he blows up at Burning Man. And so I listened to him do like a 30-minute spiel on these art pieces that he's working up that he blows up at Burning Man. And Burning Man, first of all, not my thing. Drugs, not my thing. Whole scene, not my thing. Blowing stuff up, not my thing. But I sat there and I was like this. Oh, interesting. No, that's fascinating. I mean, asking questions, the whole shebang, whatever. Like, I'm a good date. But guys, I couldn't really take it any longer. I knew that if I stayed through this entire date, I was wasting his time. He was wasting my time. I pulled a really bad move, and I had my best gay guy friend call me up with a major emergency, and I did leave. No, I've never done that in my entire life, and yes, I feel horribly about it, but at the same time, I didn't let him order any food. Like, I didn't make him pay for anything. Like, I literally was like, thank you so much, I'm so sorry, I do have to go, like, whatever. I texted him afterwards, like, followed up, and I was like, hey, I don't think we're a good match, like, whatever. I did all the right steps afterwards. Leaving on the date, not my finest hour, but I genuinely, guys, I couldn't waste his time. I couldn't waste my time. I couldn't. They say when you know, you know. I knew he was not it. I knew he was not the one for me. So that's that. It was pretty bad. I wanted to scratch my eyeballs out a lot. And he definitely did continue to look at my tits the entire freaking night. And I don't love that. So it's just like, eyes up here, Buster. My noggin is in here. Ah! Anyway, that's that. Okay, bye.
Get ready with me for bed while I tell you everything that my ex put me through when I was trying to get him back. So first things first, literally any name that you could think of that like men call women, that's just insane. Like whore and cunt and bitch. He would say it, like he did not care. Like every single day he would call me it when I was being disobedient and not acting right. Second thing, which is just so unfair, I had to have my location shared, which I don't mind. Like, I think that's totally valid. But when he doesn't have to share it back and I have no idea where he's at, that's where he got me fucked up. So the third thing, which is just so hilarious to me, is he would never kiss me. And even if I did, like, give him a peck on, like, the cheek or something, would have to totally wash his whole face and do a whole skincare routine because I was disgusting. And he didn't want that, like, on him, but he wanted to hang out with me and do every single thing else. Oh, actually, my favorite one is on my birthday when he made me cry, and he had this whole plan to make me cry the whole day. Like, it was already in his head. And he made me cry because when we were broken up, I didn't see him on his birthday, and he was really sad, and so he just thought that it was my consequence, and like I deserved that. This one's gonna make me sound really dumb, but I'm okay, like it's fine. But he literally, okay, so he ghosted me for 3 days, and then I literally like miserable, couldn't eat, and so I bought him like these expensive ass shoes. I bought him like this $500 Lego set, and I surprised it with him, and then he finally talked to me. But he just said he was just doing it because he wanted me to see how it felt to like not be talked to and ghosted. Another thing was every single time that I would like be crying on the phone and like really begging for him back, he would just sit there and laugh. Like I was a comedian, and he would just laugh every single time. And like I just want to remind y'all that he treated it as if it was a relationship. I would go over to his house, see his family, all of that. But like, no, he told me he would never be with me, like whatever. And I was just delusional, and I would stay, and I would think that like maybe one day he could love me if I spoil him. And I always did, like always. I look insane right now, but obviously there was like way worse. And I know that people are gonna be like, oh, why did you stay? Like, that's your fault. Like, no, like I was in love and I was blinded, and like, yeah, it's my fault, but like we're better now. Anyways, please take this as your sign to just know that like that's not your man if he's treating you like that, and you can move on, and there's gonna be better out there, especially if he's being like this. Girl, like run.
Horror story of my first kiss. Okay, so I'm about to graduate, and this was sophomore year, so let's go back 2.5 years. So keep in mind, sophomore year, me in the beginning of the year had never talked to guys very much. I had never kissed anybody. I was very innocent. I was just like not with it. So my friend and I were in gym class, and I asked her to put me on with somebody because I wanted a date for homecoming, which, mind you, was literally 2 months away. I don't know what I was thinking. And she was showing me pictures of people, and I said, what about the guy that you dapped up the other day? And she said, oh my gosh, yes, like let me text him. So she texts him, he stalks my Instagram, and he's like, yeah, put me on with her. So me and him start texting. Mind you, both of us had barely talked to anybody before. So it was really awkward. Like neither of us knew how to flirt. There was no banter. It was just very like weird. And like I would talk with him at school and stuff. And we would get along like okay in person. Okay, sorry, I was just thinking for a sec. But anyways, so we had agreed to make a hangout like probably like 2 weeks into us like talking or whatever. So me, my friend, and like mutual friends all met up at the beach, and we were just hanging out, you know, and then we were in the pool hanging out too, and he untied my bikini bottoms like in front of people, and I genuinely was like, don't. He's like, what would happen if I untied? And I literally was like, stop. Like it was very awkward, and I literally like I tied it back up right away because I was fucking scared. So he was being very like cuddly with me in the pool, and then we went back upstairs to like the house with my friends, and I'm actually not friends with any of them anymore. But anyways, so we were on the couch, and he was obviously sitting next to me, and he was cuddling on me and stuff, and like I was unbothered as fuck. I was like, this is just at that time I was like, this dude's just an accessory. So I was literally on my phone like this while he was like cuddling with me, playing with my hair, whatever, and I was just not paying attention to him because I was really scared, guys. Like, his hand was in my inner thigh. I was fucking freaking out. Like, hear me out, okay? I was so scared. I had barely talked to a guy before. So then the hangout's done. The vibes were okay. So, right, the next weekend we agreed to hang out. Mind you, we had not kissed at this point. So the next weekend, it's me, my friend who put me on, him, and their mutual friend. So we get to the movie theater because we were going to go see the Barbie movie. And in my head, I'm thinking, like, if I can just, like, distract him, we won't kiss. Like, I was so scared. Like, I was freaking out. So, bro. So we get there, and we don't even get tickets. Like, we just walked into a random movie that was already been playing. And me and him are, like, sitting. And he told me to sit, like, on his lap. So I sat with him. And I feel like we were both nervous. And then I ended up kissing him. So, mind you, my friend and her friend are sitting, like, right next to us in the movie theater. Okay. So, me and him are, like, kissing, whatever. And so I start to notice that he, like, low-key might be afraid of my tongue. But, like, also, both of us, I think that was, like, both of our first kiss, whatever. So, anyways, moving on. I start to notice that this dude's mouth is on my eyelids. Why is there saliva all over my face? Like, he was damn near like a dog at that rate. And I was just like, holy shit, this is crazy. I was scared. I was just like, I don't know. So, yeah, I don't know why he was making out with my fucking whole face, but I genuinely, after that point, I wanted to wash my face so bad. I literally was in the car, like, thinking, like, oh my gosh, I just kissed a guy, but I was also like, ew, why is his saliva all over my eyebrows? And then after that, he ghosted me. So, stay woke. I at the time, I was like, oh, maybe I'll be a girl. No, I was not gonna be the girl. That was just, like, a one-time experience. That was a one-time exchange. I guess it's not really like a horror story. I'm sure there's worse, but that was mine.
Get ready with me to go see my boyfriend and get cracked. Now, you know my face is gonna be in the sheets, so I need my makeup to last. We're going in with the matte primer. Has anyone else debated starting a Twitter? Because once I saw their paychecks, that made me change my mind. I'm gonna keep the makeup light today. I don't want to leave foundation marks on the bed, because that is embarrassing. I got this cute little matching set I'm wearing. There's a lot of blush, but I want to look excited to see him, you know? I'm looking extra clowny right now. I'm gonna set my face, set the other side. I want the only thing moving around to be my mascara, amen. Did y'all also grow up watching the Jenna Marbles video on which mascara is the most cryable? Because that list would be hella useful right about now. But yeah, y'all, I'm gonna put on some lip gloss, and I think that's my makeup. I hope you get cracked soon too, girl. Mwah. Bye.
Today, somebody at work asked for a bite of my sandwich. I don't like sharing mouth things. It grosses me out. But at the same time, I really like making new friends. Like, I just want everybody in the world to be my new friend. So I got really nervous, and thankfully, she got distracted for a second, so I shoved the whole sandwich in my mouth. And by the time she turned around, there was no more sandwich to share. I didn't want to share my sandwich, but hopefully she'll still want to be my friend.
Have you ever hated someone so much that you married their father? No? My mom did. Y'all call me a hater a lot, but I think you're gonna hear this story and understand that I could be so much worse. Let's get into it. So my mom was like 19. She's in pre-med, she's in a sorority, okay, she's busy, blonde, and beautiful. And she's been dating this guy named Charles. Charles is like tall, handsome, like a pretty average dude. She says that they were serious, but then again, this is like 100 years ago. So they were probably only dating for like 2 months at the time. Keep that in mind. Keep in mind that they've only been together for 2 months, okay? Anyway, she catches word from a sorority sister that another one of her sorority sisters has been hooking up with Charles behind her back. But no one will tell her who to avoid sister drama. sororities. Yeah, well, my mommy doesn't work that way. So my mom goes to Charles' house. And because my mom is a actual genius and knows that if she just asks him, he's gonna deny, she says, look, she told me everything, I know everything, and I know about the baby. Y'all, there is no baby. There is no baby. There's no. And so obviously he's like, what are you talking about? What baby? What do you mean? She didn't tell me she was pregnant. Now my mom has confirmation from the horse's mouth that he has in fact been cheating on her. Just a clap for her. But now she needs a name. I'm so sorry. TikTok is gonna make me do a part 2, so go to part 2. Part 2 of how my mom married her friend's dad as revenge. In the last part, I told you how my mom got confirmation of Charles cheating. But now, she needs Charles to give her the name of the girl so that she can go handle business. And so my mom says to him, I can't believe she didn't tell you about the baby. I mean, I guess she just doesn't want you involved. She did say she was gonna give the baby her last name and not yours. And like she had written it in a movie script, he goes, over my dead body is she giving my baby the last name. And there's only one sorority sister with that last name. I also feel like I probably shouldn't say this girl's real name, so we're just gonna call her Jessica. So now my absolutely insane mother has confirmation that her man has been sleeping with one of her sisters that lives in the same house as her. Now, a little background on my mom and Jessica. At this point, they had been in the same sorority for a year. They slept 10 feet away from each other. And my mom says that this girl's favorite thing to do was to drink a lot on the weekends and then tell her business to anyone that would listen. And it turns out at the time, Jessica's parents' divorce had literally just finalized because her mom was cheating on her dad. I guess the apple really doesn't fall far. So obviously my mom breaks things off with Charles, and she knows that if she says anything to Jessica, she's gonna get kicked off the sorority for starting drama. Anyway, so she decides that she's gonna sit nice, act like nothing happened, tell her nothing, and they're gonna be best friends now. And my mom starts forming an evil plan. When I tell you the Joker would not touch this woman, I really do mean it. My mom married her friend's dad as revenge, part 3. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go watch the last 2 parts. The final part will be posted today. So my mom starts forming a plan so evil, I cannot believe me and this woman are related. My mom befriends Jessica, and she says that it was too easy because apparently Jessica had slept with quite a few of the sorority's boyfriends and was not well liked in the house. My mom says that excluding all of the home wrecking, Jessica wasn't actually that bad of a friend. They would study together, they would go out together. But through all of this, Jessica never admitted to my mom that she had been sleeping with her boyfriend, which only made my mom more mad because what do you mean we're best friends and you slept with him and you're not gonna tell me? Anyway, they are so inseparable that Jessica invites my mom to a family vacation with her dad's side of the family. And my mom puts plan to action. Now, my mom's original plan was to go for Jessica's brother because she knew that'd be easy. But apparently she gets into this vacation and Jessica's dad looks like a young Val Kilmer, and I have no idea who that is, but my mom says that he's hot. So my mom changes plan. And night 1 of this trip, Jessica and her dad get in a huge screaming match. It was something about she's so ungrateful, money doesn't grow on trees, that sort of thing. And after the fight, my mom goes to comfort Jessica, and Jessica says, he always does this, he's the worst, I swear he doesn't even like me as his daughter, I swear he hates me. And that's when my mom knew this plan was gonna work. Later, my mom magically finds Jessica's dad alone. What are the odds? And my mom starts chatting him up. She's like, your daughter's kind of miserable, right? Did you know that she slept with my boyfriend? And he goes, yep, that sounds like Jessica. I guess she gets it from her mom. I get that I didn't raise her right, but why are you still friends with her? And my mom says, well, I think there's still one more thing I can get out of her. I'm filming the final part right now. It's about to be out. Go look for part 4. My mom married her friend's dad as revenge, part 4. I feel like we need to give Jessica's dad a name because I cannot keep saying Jessica's dad, Jessica's dad, Jessica's dad. So we're just gonna call him Brad. And just so you're picturing the right thing as I'm telling this story, Brad is like 50, and again, looks like a young Val Kilmer, who I did look up and is hot. And so Brad says to my mom, what are you hoping to get out of my daughter? And my mom goes, honestly, I'm just really glad she brought me here to you. Hook, line, and sinkum. This would only work for my mother, by the way. She was skinny, blonde hair, blue eyes, the 80s standard. And so basically in today's terms, he was like, okay, we can make something shake. And they end up talking all night long, literally just talking mess about his own daughter. So by the end of this trip, they've gotten along really well. And they both decided that they both hate Jessica. So as soon as they get home from this vacation, The next week, they go to the courthouse and get courthouse married. Is that a shotgun wedding? I don't know. Anyway, so they go down to the courthouse, they get married, and they do it just to rub it in Jessica's face. My mom and Brad both understand that it's probably not like a lasting marriage, but they both are so mad at Jessica that they're like, we just need to do this to rub it in her face. Can you imagine? You're like feuding with a girl and she goes and marries your father? My mother is an anomaly. I cannot believe she exists. Anyway, my mom has calmed down a lot through the years, so I don't know exactly what she said to Jessica in that moment, but I do know that it was a lot of like, see that? It matches with your dad. Your father has the other one. And just like a lot of, I'm sleeping with your father. Like think of like today's equivalent of like your mom jokes, but your dad. And it's real. That's the story. That's all that I know. If you have any questions, let me know and I can go ask her. But to those of you asking if he's my father, Brad is not my father. They actually ended up getting their marriage annulled like a couple weeks later because they were like, this is stupid. It was just for the bit. How this woman does the things she does, I don't even know. She's done more crazy things in her life. My mom was not a boring woman. I could tell stories about her for literal days.
Hey guys, get ready with me for some workouts where I talk about crazy things I did in middle school. The first thing is that on the I want to say second or third week of 6th grade, I cussed this white lady out because I don't even remember what she did. I just cussed her out and I got in trouble. After that, for the 2 years I was at that school, she literally never left me alone, like ever. For context, I went to 2 different middle schools throughout from 6th to 8th grade. And then I think the beginning of the school year, I smacked my brother's ex because she was like, oh, you won't smack me, and I did, because she said I wouldn't. But I didn't get in trouble for it, but I did smack her for no reason, basically. This is a little bad, but it's basically right. I had found out that I was dyslexic on my birthday, and then I found out that I was getting all my classes switched on my birthday, and I was like, literally, I was furious. Like, I was so mad. And my case manager was trying to talk to me, and I literally told her shut up and stop talking to me, and I walked away from her. Like, I stormed away from her. Y'all was so mad at her. Mind you, it was all because it was my birthday, and I felt like I told her she was ruining my birthday. Yeah, I was a tad bit crazy, but also I was just really mad about the circumstance. I didn't want to be dyslexic. Okay, now we're moving on to 7th grade. Basically, in 7th grade, I played volleyball, right? First year ever playing volleyball, and I had a sew-in with a frontal, right? And at the time, I didn't know how to take care of frontals really good, and I still don't because I don't wear them. A volleyball game in this predominantly white town, and y'all, when I tell you we got there, and they were booing us when we were warming up and stuff, and the boys were talking to me and my friend, and I said something to them, and I got cussed, and I'm like, girl, I did not play. And they proceeded to go in a group chat with my friends from my school and shit talk me and say that my lace was lifting, talking about my friend saying why she got on a full face of makeup. Yeah, they just talking crazy about me, and I never confronted them about it because I didn't know who the people were until months later. But literally, the people that were in that group chat, none of my friends defended me. I hear my feelings so bad, but it's character development, Buki. And also me now, I would never tolerate no stuff like that. Y'all, they were just being so racist. They were calling me a monkey. Not in the group chat, but the boys, they were calling me black and calling me a monkey, y'all. Honestly, it was disgusting. I hate it. Here's last but not least, but basically in 7th grade, this new girl had came to my school, right? And me and my friends, we were very sweet. We would introduce the new people that came to our school to our table, and we would want them to come sit with us at lunch if they didn't have nobody. Mind y'all, she was a black girl too. Tell me why she came to school, and apparently she was talking mess about me. Mind y'all, I don't, to this day, I still don't know much about this girl. She didn't know me, I didn't know her. She was telling people she was going to pull out my braids and all this and all that. And I was like, what? She was telling people she was going to pull out my braids. I had found her during this period we call winters. This is our recess. I don't know what it's called. I found her and I was like, so blank, what were you saying about me? And you said he's going to pull out my braids. So what's up? Why did you say that? I don't even know who you is. And y'all, she was literally arguing with me and all this and all that. And I'm like, okay, Bookie. This girl proceeds to run I'll sprint boom out the door and start running, and y'all, I chased her back. I chased her all the way to the grass area, and I was in her face. I was like, so what you was talking about me? Mind you, I don't know about your stuff, and I was talking about her. Yeah, I was. And yeah, and I didn't get in trouble for it, and she got in trouble. Mind you, it was her first day, and I was like, okay, girl. But yeah, I'm gonna come back to y'all when I'm done getting ready. But anyway, guys, that's it for the Get Ready Me. So I hope you have an amazing day. Stay calm, stay fine, and I love you guys so much, and bye.
Weird things I did as a kid. First up, I actually killed my fish, and my parents didn't let me have a pet after that, but I really wanted a pet. So I would catch bugs into little containers, and I would keep them under my bed so my parents wouldn't find out. In elementary school, I had a crush on this guy, and I named a worm after him, and then I kissed it. Whenever I would shower, I would refuse to like look at my body while washing myself because I thought my classmates could like hack into my eyes and like spy on me. I was also extremely paranoid, so I thought someone was watching me all the time, and anytime I'd have to change, I changed in the closet so no one could like spy on me and see me changing. Whenever my mom would take me to like the grocery store or anywhere out in public, I would like sing or hum really loudly because I thought some like famous like producer was gonna hear me and be like, oh my gosh, she's so cool, she has to be on her next show. And like I thought I was gonna become famous from singing in like a store. I don't really know why I remember this one so specifically, but I would beg my mom to take me to Old Navy, and I would go inside the store and they had these like red plastic shoes, and instead of like wanting them or like buying them, I would like go there and sniff them because they smelled like strawberries. Whenever someone would be smoking around me, I'd like very obviously hold my breath in front of them to like make them feel bad about themselves. Like I'd go like as I'd walk past them so they just like feel bad for smoking. I used to like chew my hair and like bite it off. Like actually I would eat my own hair. I would refuse to go down like slides, like tunnel slides I guess, that would like close up top because I thought there was gonna be someone inside like waiting for me and trying to like kill me. Whenever me and my family would go out to eat and there was like a paper menu, I would start like eating it. I would like rip off pieces and put it in my mouth and like swallow the paper. And I would also like lick the crayons they gave you with the kids menus. My brother would have like bead swallowing competitions, and we would see like who can swallow the most beads, and we would like dare each other to swallow beads. I genuinely believed I was a fairy, and like I thought I could fly, so I'd like get like really high up on something like a playground. I would like climb up super high and then I would try to jump from it, trying to learn how to fly, but it didn't work any of the time, so I'd like fall on my face. I had this like really weird dream every single birthday, and it was like the same dream every single year for my birthday, and I would like refuse to sleep because it was basically like my entire family getting like murdered and they all died like violently, so I would get really scared to sleep on my birthday, and I just like would refuse to sleep and I'd pull all-nighters. I would make my parents buy me like colored tape, and then I'd tape like color tape around rocks, and I'd like make them my pets, and I'd have pet rocks. I would watch a bunch of YouTubers and they would like prank people, and I really wanted to do that too. So one time I put like a mannequin head in my bed and made my mom tuck me in for bed, but instead of tucking me in, she was tucking in the mannequin, and she got really scared. Yeah, there's just some weird things I did as a kid, and I can definitely make a part 2 because I was really weird.
So my mom is cutting me off for going to NYU. Let's talk about it. I've always known I was going to college ever since I was literally 5 years old, and it was kind of given I would stay in California since I'm born and raised here. Growing up, I have been averagely smart, and I'm kind of behind my older brother who is extremely smart, so I've been like the dumber kid. And my parents were divorced when I was 6 months old, so this all plays a very important role in this story. I have a friend in New Jersey. We went to New York City together, and I decided to apply for NYU because I had a fee waiver, and I thought like this would just be a fun Hail Mary, like what if? I've been in a 4-year engineering academy all of high school, and my mom actually supported me going into that because my brother did as well. So when I found out I got into NYU, I was so shocked and naturally wanted to call my mom because we've had a really good relationship for the past like 3 years. I'm excited, I'm like crying, like in tears of happiness, and she's like, I'm at work, like this is like okay. Me and my brother both have a trust fund from our great aunt who passed, and she gave us like a decent amount of money for college, and then my mom also had a fund for both of us for college as well, and she had $65,000. Before I fully committed, she was getting in a really bad mood and really angry all the time, telling me how dangerous New York is, how she like grew up there, her dad grew up there, he went to Columbia, and how she just didn't want me going to the city. I toured it, I went to the student day, I loved it, and I fully committed with my dad. We put in the deposit because my dad fully supports me. He supports me more than 3 parents could, and I love him so much, and I'm so grateful because without him, I genuinely wouldn't be where I am today. So after this, my mom tells me and my dad she will not support me if I go to NYU, and I will be receiving no money for this college. And keep in mind, this money is stored away in an account that you cannot take out unless you get like heavily taxed. So she's willing to lose a lot of her money because she doesn't want to give it to me for college. And as the months have gone by, she's become more and more verbally abusive, rude, blah, 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 to the point where she's cut me off. And I'm currently living in the same house, but let me explain. We haven't spoken for months besides her yelling at me and trying to convince me out of going to NYU, to the point where she emailed my therapist asking her if she could talk me out of going to NYU, which obviously she didn't. And then she emailed my therapist saying that she no longer wanted her to see me anymore. And I've been seeing the same girl for 5 years. And despite living at home, my mom supports me in no way, shape, or form. She tried to get me fired from my job. And after a medical appointment one day, she sat me down in the car and explained to me that she will not have any part in supporting me going to NYU.
Whether it's financially, morally, anything, there will just be no part of it. And I broke down asking her why, and she just said it's too dangerous, it's too expensive, which we have the money for it. She just won't pay it. Also told me I was too dumb to be an engineer. I got into the school for engineering. I did 4 years in an engineering academy. And she told me I was too dumb to be an engineering major because my trunk got a tote bag stuck in it and I didn't fix it. I left the tote bag in the trunk for a couple months because with graduation and things going on at the end of summer, I was just too busy to care. I don't use my trunk ever, so I didn't care. So she goes, you can't be an engineer. You can't even fix your trunk. And my jaw dropped. I went on a trip with my friends. I barely let her know any of the details. I just kind of got up and left. And then after I came back, we were scheduling some medical appointments for me because I need to get some things checked over before I go to college. And one of them I have to miss because I'm going on another trip with my friend. And she said she's going to ground me, take away my keys, whatever, if I do this. And I was just like, I don't care. And then she got really, really verbally abusive, calling me, like, unintelligent, all these things. And then the final straw was she said, well, I'm not the one who starved myself. Keep in mind, this is my mom, by the way. I've never had anyone be so cruel to me, let alone my own mother, and I just cannot believe that my mom is treating me like this. I also called my dad, he calmed me down, but she stopped paying for all my expenses like shampoo, conditioner, flossing, things like that. Keep in mind, I'm 17 till November, so I will be moving, and I will need a little bit of help. But me and my dad are gonna have to split everything for NYU, and it is not cheap school. I will cover it in a different video, but I did not get much financial aid, and I'm gonna have to handle this all by myself. And it's not that this one decision just made her act out towards me. She's also being extremely unfair to my brother and my entire family, and just turning into someone that I don't recognize. This almost makes me want to do better at NYU and show her that I really can be something. This almost makes me want to go to NYU, do better, and be something because I know I'm smart, I know I'm capable, and I know I will go places with my mindset. It's the same mindset that got me into NYU, and she just cannot believe the fact that I'm going off and doing something on my own. I hope my story gives someone some comfort, and also I just want to bring awareness because it really sucks. Moving to New York alone and having my dad and my friends on my side, but like the one main influential woman in my life will not be. I'm sorry, this was such a long story. I hope you guys liked listening to me.